Hey guys, Down Phoenix here, and I want to throw up some thoughts about the PlayStation Vita TV. This is a very interesting device because it's a portable console that you play at home. There's not very many things like that. There have been a couple of instances like the Super Game Boy for the Super Nintendo and the Game Boy Advance player for the GameCube. But generally speaking, you haven't been able to do that. Definitely not with the PlayStation systems. I guess you could with the PSP Minis, I guess to some degree on the PS3. But no, this is a Vita in a portable home console format. Very interesting indeed. HDMI out, Wi-Fi, Ethernet. It has the card slot for the Vita as well as the memory card slot. Very interesting indeed. And the price point is killer. Just $100. That's cheap as dirt. I mean, considering that the Vita not long ago was $250 for the full package, and they lowered it to $200. They also, by the way, of course, announced a new Vita redesign, which is supposed to be like a little bit thinner and lighter. It's supposed to have 1 gigabyte of memory built in now, so you don't have to buy a memory card anymore, which is great. Took them forever on that, by the way. And it's going to have a LCD instead of a OLED display, which a lot of people are bitching about that. Like, talking about the OLED display being so awesome. Man, it's definitely a very nice display. I think the color was a little oversaturated, and OLED displays don't exactly do the best in outdoor environments. So I think the choice to go with the LCD, on top of it being cheaper for them, is also the better decision overall as far as the versatility. But I mean, it's still the Vita. Now there is one thing that I want to talk about with the new Vita redesign. It's got a micro USB port now. And hopefully that will mean it can be connected to a TV as well through an MHL standard. Since a lot of smartphones use micro USB not just to charge, but also to do docking and data connectivity, including the MHL, which allows them to mirror video onto a TV or monitor. So hopefully they're planning on doing something like that with the original Vita. But even if they don't, the Vita TV will definitely fill that niche. And a lot of people are really criticizing this thing. They're like making fun of it. Handheld console without the screen. Like the whole 1DS thing. But this actually is a good idea, because what else costs $100? An Ouya. And any gamer worth their gall probably thinks that Ouya is dead now. Because if Sony releases this in America at that price point, it's game over for them. Because it's superior hardware. It's going to have the app support. You can get stuff like Netflix and Hulu on the Vita. You can't on the Ouya. The Ouya will be stuck with the indie apps that nobody cares about. It's not going to pick up any major support like the Vita is, which... the Vita is kind of struggling against the 3DS and the smartphones, but I think with the recent price drop, the new design, and then this particular device, that's all going to change. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is this PS Vita TV? Okay, so it's a small device. They describe it as being about the size of a deck of cards. And it might be a little bit bigger than that, I guess. But anyways, it's basically a media device that also happens to be a Vita system. So, out of the box, this device is designed to be a media streaming box. Like Roku, Apple TV, that kind of stuff. Google TV, that kind of stuff is what they're, out of the box is what it's supposed to do. But, it's got a card slot for the Vita, so you can put in Vita games, as well as the memory cards. And you can also connect a DualShock 3 controller with it. Now, they're also going to bundle, I guess, an 8GB card with the DualShock 3 so that you're Vita good to go out of the box for $150 is what they're aiming for right there. But if you've already got a PlayStation 3, you don't need to have any more investment except for, I guess, the memory card, which if you already have a Vita, you don't even have to worry about that. So you got that functionality. It'll play most Vita games. Now, it's not going to support ones that have specific features like the touch screen or the rear touchpad or the camera. Those kinds of games that require that functionality, you're not going to be able to play those. So we're going to hope that Sony really pressures their software partners into updating their software to support the new system if it doesn't for some reason. Gravity Rush is going to be a big one. Uncharted Golden Abyss will be another. Games that they'll need to patch to ensure this playback. And but if they play their cards right with this, I think this will be big. Even if they don't patch those games, if Sony can, I guess, move that focus away from those features, maybe just making those features optional, and figure out a way that they can map the second set of trigger buttons for PS Vita TV games specifically, then I think they got a real winner. We're talking about a full-blown gaming console with media capabilities for under $100. That's unheard of nowadays. We got that's gonna be cheaper than Nintendo Wii, because that's $130. So, come on, a Vita versus a Wii? They don't make new games for the Wii anymore, so obviously the best choice in that case would be the Vita, because it would have the new games, the new software support. It's got better graphics. You're gonna have all kinds of good classic support for PSP and PS1. So yeah, I'm just really looking forward to this device. I think it's gonna be huge. I think that this device has the potential to help set off the set-top box market, but maybe I'm wrong. I guess you could say I'm a little biased because I'm a Sony fanboy. Not exactly true. I do love Sony products over Nintendo or Microsoft as far as gaming is concerned, but I'm mainly a PC gamer, in my opinion. And I do hate certain things that Sony does. I just think that this was a brilliant idea. The 1DS, everybody thought it was a joke. I was thinking, you know what, Nintendo did that? I'd buy that in a second. Nintendo, of course, that's too forward thinking for Nintendo, that the 1DS was. The 2DS, more along their line of thinking. Their thinking is, let's market a product for young kids. Because young kids have jobs and income and spend money on video games. Yeah. No, their parents do. And that's the real market now. That's what Nintendo doesn't realize. Is that the average gamer has their own income, and they spend more money on video games than they do for their kids. Their kids don't get very many games. So that's something they need to work on. Sony's got the right idea, though, with this PS Vita TV. I think this thing is gonna fly off the shelves. You can quote me if I'm wrong. If we look at this a year from now and that thing is already off the market and it's only sold like 100,000 units in the US or something like that, then you guys have the full right to brag on me. But you know what? I'll probably be one of those 100,000 people that bought it. So yeah, I think this is definitely a better idea than what the PSP Go or the PlayStation Go was. So come on. You're going to have a DualShock 3 controller instead of the Vita controls that are built in, which honestly aren't that good. The 3DS definitely has a better controller setup, I think, than the Vita. But yeah, regardless, I'm going to get one. If they don't come out with this thing in the US, then I'll probably eventually take the plunge and get one of the redesigned Vitas. But if they do come out with this in the US, I'm going to get it first day, because it's going to be just the right price, and there's a lot of good Vita games that I want to play. Oh, Persona 4 Golden, a lot of people have been mentioning. You'll be able to finally play that on TV now. Wouldn't that be great? Soul Sacrifice, that'd be another one, There's some good games out there that you'll be able to play on the TV finally. If, we're talking about Vita exclusive games that don't have a release anywhere else. So that's going to be fantastic. I think that this thing is going to just do really well. I guess we'll find out for sure because it comes out in Japan, I believe in October or something like that. And that's where it's going to come out first. So we'll get a kind of idea of what the Japanese think of it. As far as that, that's kind of a tough sell for them because Japanese are definitely more into handhelds than they are to home consoles, if you look at the sales statistics. But at the same time, when you look at this device, you know, it's going to have the PlayStation 4 remote play capability, which I forgot to mention. That's going to be a big deal, I think, to some people. And then the fact that some of these, you know, portable gamers, you know, they might want to continue their game at home when they get at home. And well, how better to do it than on the biggest screen in the house? So, I guess we'll take a look at Japan, see how they feel about it. I'm going to tell you though, I think it's going to be a big success. I think this might be the thing that's going to turn the Vita around. Because I don't think the $50 price drop is going to be enough. But I think this will. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if you guys think I'm crazy to think that